Today we're talking about navigating male-dominated industries. Who here has worked in one? I know I have. I've worked in many for many, many decades. And it can be challenging, but with the right strategies, you can not only survive, but you can thrive. So I'm going to share with you 5 key strategies that have helped me and have helped many of my clients and colleagues and mentees to help you succeed in a male-dominated environment. Now, got your pen and paper out? The first one, build your confidence. It's simple. 80% of success, 80% of everything that you do is actually all here in between your 2 ears. It's your confidence. In male-dominated industries, confidence is crucial. So what does that mean? You need to know your worth, and you don't be afraid to speak up. Never. Practice some self-affirmations and remind yourself of your achievement. Those affirmations could be something simple as I am confident in all ways on all days. Right? Very, very simple. I am confident, I am successful, I am determined. That's actually on my wall here because it's one of mine. Be confident and affirm your achievements. There is a brilliant book. That I would encourage you to have a read, which is called Brag, The Art of Tooting Your Horn by Peggy Klaus. Absolutely brilliant about showcasing and communicating your successes and your achievements without being a dick about it, knob about it, whatever, arrogant about it. Confidence isn't about being loud, my lovelies. It's about being sure of your abilities and value. Okay? Now, your abilities is practice makes progress. Okay? You're not going to be perfect from the get-go. But even if you do and are perfect in what it is that you're doing, showcase that, amplify that, strengthen that. It's much easier, and I'd encourage you always to develop on your strengths and manage your weaknesses. Right? So highlight your strengths, build your strengths, and keep pushing forward. Number 2, find allies and mentors. Look for both male and female colleagues, right? Those who support and respect you. Allies can be advocates for you, and mentors can provide you guidance and advice. I have been a mentor for many years, and I've also had a mentor myself. So critical. Building a network of supportive individuals can make a vast, significant difference in your career. I have a private Facebook group, which is the Confident Women's Network. It is only for women, and you are welcome to join us over there. The third one, you're going to have to develop a thick skin, lovely. You really are. Unfortunately, despite the amount of work, despite the amount of impact and influence and guidance and regulatory change, bias and discrimination is and can be a part of the experience in a male-dominated field. You know, it's kind of like you're working in the boys' club. They go out to lunch, you don't get the invite. They go and do that, you don't get the invite. What it is, it's about understanding and appreciating that they want to work in a certain way, but it means how do you communicate with them? You invite yourself. They probably sit there and think, oh, she doesn't want to be invited. We're just going to talk about shop. We're going to talk about, I don't know, we're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about whatever. So there's an assumption there, and biases actually creep in. So you actually have to say, call it out as it is. Is there a reason as to why I'm not being invited for lunch? Is there a reason as to why I've been left off this email chain? You know, it's amazing the stories we tell ourselves, but it's also just as equally important to remember that, you know, there are certain things that men just want to talk with each other about, and they don't even think that they're excluding us. What you're going to have to do then, my lovelies, it's very important then to develop resilience and not take things personally. I want you to be thinking about how often do you make a decision that you wouldn't include them in? The fact of the matter, though, is because you're in a male-dominated environment, it's almost like them against us. And it's actually not. And it's not, especially when you call them out. So focus on your goals. Let any criticism roll off your back. What you want to be doing is calling it out. Thank you for that feedback. I'm curious where that came from. But what you want to do is take that as feedback, not as criticism. Use it as a motivation to, prove to yourself what it is that you do, that you know your shit, right? And the fact that they need you. The fourth, continuously be improving your skills. Stay updated with industry trends. Keep learning. Now, I don't want you to become, just constantly rolling into courses. I am a consummate learner. I'd like to think that I am a professional student, meaning I'd rather be a consummate student than a doctoral idiot. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So whether it's through courses, certifications, self-study, LinkedIn, networks, your mentor, whatever programs that you've got, become comfortable. Become comfortable in being curious about what's new out there, practicing things, piloting things, trialing new things. And what that is, as well as being highly skilled and knowledgeable, makes you important to you, not to them, not to anyone else. It's the fact that you then have these skills and resources that are marketable that you can share out elsewhere. So if ever you get to the point that you think, below this, I've had enough, that you can actually look at the market and say, this is what I've got. And in many instances, if you have built upon your strengths and you are key person dependent, then you become indispensable. Again, not something that I highly recommend in organizations, because I always talk about redundancy. You need to have, you can't and shouldn't have key person dependencies. But in some instances that occurs because that's your zone of genius and nobody else wants to be anywhere near it. I had that in one of my organizations. Nobody wanted to do the things that I were doing. And so it became key person dependent. What you want to be thinking is your expertise will command respect and open doors for advancement. The fifth, my lovelies, assert yourself. Don't be afraid to take the lead on projects. Don't be afraid to share your ideas or voice your opinion. It matters, especially when you have the skills, you have the experience, you've got the insight, you've got the curiosity, you want to innovate, you're commercially savvy. There's no reason as to why you wouldn't be sharing. So being assertive doesn't mean being aggressive, by no means. It doesn't mean you're a bitch. It doesn't mean you're an alpha. It means you are being clear and confident in your communication. And I'll add to that, a little bit more concise. So stand your ground and let your voice be heard. You can build some allyship within your organization. Find the way. If you have seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the man might be the head of the household and the woman's the neck and she turns the head. There are many things and strategies and activities and tasks, and my gosh, that I've gotten off the ground by creating an earworm somewhere, and then it comes to fruition. So navigating a male-dominated industry is not easy, right? But it's entirely possible with these strategies. Taking ownership of your career and shining bright. Remember, you're not alone on this journey, right? I'm here to help navigate you every step of the way. You've got a whole LinkedIn community of amazing women that can help you. You have a whole extension of that community with your network, with your male counterparts who are there in your allyship. It's leaning into that. It's also knowing that not every male environment is exactly the same. Not every male is exactly the same. Just like you and your best mate and every other female are exactly the same. So please don't judge every environment in the same way. You might be pleasantly surprised, as I have been on dozens of occasions, of where it's been wonderful, absolutely and utterly uplifting to work in a male-dominated environment. And in other times, really shithouse. Okay, so it's about practice, try, explore, get a mentor, build yourself up, be confident in yourself. Now, if you're facing challenges or need more personal advice, don't hesitate to reach out. That's what I'm here. Let's break down those barriers and lead with confidence. Until next time, stay strong and keep shining.